Kiss. Welcome. My name is Derryl Yeager. I'm the founder and artistic director of Odyssey Dance Theatre. And we are here doing our podcast with one of the original Odyssey members, Amy Asay, is right here with us. Here to kind of share what it was like at the beginning, and we've been doing this for 31 years now. That's great. How old were you when we first started?
19.
You were 19?
Yeah, I was 19.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did we have an audition or something like that? How did we had an audition?
Oh, that's a long story. You want to go there?
Oh yeah, let's go there.
Or just get right into it.
Go right into it, yes.
Okay, well, we'll back up a little bit from there. So my training has been in ballet mostly my whole life.
Right.
And I grew up in California, trained in California. My parents actually got a divorce. My mom moved us to Utah.
Oh.
And I danced with what's Metropolitan Ballet now.
Okay.
Got right into that company, danced with them. And then shortly after high school, I ended up getting the William F. Christensen Scholarship at the U.
Okay. My wife
So
Cheryl got that too.
Did she?
Yeah, she had that too, yes.
So me and my best friend got it. It was the first time they ever did 2 in 1 year. So that was pretty cool. And we were roommates. And that was fun. I went to the U, was dancing. I'd done ballet my whole life. Well, I was actually a closet hip hopper, to just segue a little bit.
Oh.
Like I would go and take on the side, like at night after ballet, I would go into a hip hop class or a jazz class because I loved it so much. So anyway.
I can't envision you in a hip hop class.
I actually
With point shoes on? No.
No. I loved it. And but anyway, and so I went to the U and that was great. But at the same time, I had to major in ballet, right? To get that scholarship.
Yeah.
And so here I am taking history of dance and like all the things you have to take along with your ballet class. And then after school, I was driving to Metropolitan Ballet, which was URB back then, and still dancing with them and working. And I just got burnt out. And I got to a point, well, I should say that I weighed about 100 pounds. And the teachers at the U told me I needed to lose weight.
Are you kidding me?
No. So that was the beginning of my like, oh, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe.
So what did they say would be perfect? 98?
I don't think they gave me a number, but maybe I had the freshman 20, but I can imagine I should have been.
Oh my God.
So it was just crazy. And I just started to feel like, okay, I'm going to school to dance when I can just dance, And ballet had turned into something that was a little bit more negative to me than it had been in the past. And so, my parents had just got a divorce. So it was just kind of a hard time for me. So I ended up walking away from a full ride 4-year scholarship.
Oh my gosh.
And quitting dance altogether. See, you didn't even know any of this, but
I did not know that. I did not know that.
So burnt out that I'm like, I'm done. Like, I auditioned.
And then you lost all the weight after that.
Yeah.
Because you were so heavy.
Well, you saw me then, but anyway, so I ended up just kind of flittering around a little bit. I took a couple jobs here and there, and I took class at Center Stage for fun. And I can't remember who told me about it, but somebody told me there was an audition for this company, and I knew nothing about it, but I'm like, why not? So I went auditioned, and then you guys called me and told me I made the company. I'm like, great. Like I didn't really know what it was, or you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it was still we were calling it the Utah Contemporary Dance Theatre.
Yeah, it was UCDT.
Yes, UCDT. And we just thought we'd give it a try and put together a show, and see what happens.
And I was just in the right place at the right time because it like literally changed my life. Like literally. And I'm going to get emotional. But yeah, I realized, no, I do love dance. And I can still enjoy dance, and I have to be this or that because I'm short, And so I had done all these auditions for ballet companies, and they're like Ballet West, I remember was the hardest audition because they kept me. And then I just heard somebody, say, she's just too short, and they cut me. And I'm just like, that's something I can't do anything about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In some aspects, turnout, you can work so hard. Like I can try and get my feet better, but there's some things you just can't control.
Yes.
So, yeah. So after leaving the U and then dancing, starting with Odyssey was just like a new chapter for me that just opened up so many opportunities after that.
So what was it that made it different for you as far as like the ballet world?
It was definitely I got to do ballet, which was my thing, but
Yes.
like I said, I was a closet hip hopper and jazz dancer for a reason. I loved it. I loved learning new genres, and so I was able to do that. And then it was just a fun atmosphere. My my two best friends that I still like hang with all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been friends for over 30 years. We started with Odyssey.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was it's more than just a friendship. You become like a family.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's like that with most companies, but I don't know, I feel like Odyssey's special in that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the things that, if anything, that's one of the things I'm most proud of is that family atmosphere, a positive atmosphere. You know
Oh,
what I mean? As
absolutely.
opposed to the cutthroat ballet world where,
Yeah.
you need to lose
You never
2
told me to
pounds
lose
even though you're 100. Oh my gosh, I still can't
You never
believe
told
it.
me to lose weight. And if I'm being honest, like dancing on Odyssey and feeling good and positive, I was probably in the best shape I've ever been in my life. Because what you feel inside really shows on the outside. And so, yeah.
Yeah. So you were the original Bride of Frankenstein in Thriller when we put that together. That was a couple of years in, right, that we did that.
Yeah.
And she was, it was like one of those funny things. We just started putting it together, and I said, well, let's just we're going to have you die in the middle of this.
Oh, you set the scene. You were like, we're going to have them laughing so hard that then you die and then they're going to be crying. And we were like, yes. And we laughed so much.
When we were doing
Yeah,
when
choreographed.
we were putting it together, who was it?
Chris Root.
Chris Root was the original Frankenstein, and we just started putting it together. And I remember the death we had for you was different than what we do now.
Yeah, let's talk about
because we used to. Well, she was great at it, but we threw her on a shoulder lift, then she would take her down into a fish and smack her head on the floor. And that's how she would die.
You have to just segue, or like add that clip into this episode and show that.
Because there's a clip we have of her
that would
banging her head.
You have it somewhere.
Yes, I have it somewhere. But she banged her head. She actually banged her head on. She wasn't supposed to. She had a puffy wig, but he threw her down too hard on one of those, and bang, hit her head.
Well, actually, it hit my head, but it looked worse than it was because of the wig.
Yeah.
And so it like barely hit my head, but Chris didn't know that. And here I am playing dead.
Right.
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 So he doesn't know if I'm okay because I'm dead. So he's like, are you okay? I'm fine.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best one ever. But I guess you changed the choreography.
After that, because well, first of all,
not with me though. We did the same choreography for a couple years. Yeah.
Because you guys, he could handle you.
Yeah.
Because you were only 100 pounds, and but he held you really well. But in years after that, we didn't have guys who were as strong.
Yeah.
Who could handle that?
Or
it was just scary, to have them do that. So I came up with the idea, well, I'm just going to have them crack her neck.
Yeah.
And that's how she's going to die. And so that's what it's a safer version.
Yeah.
But, I'll never forget that very first performance we did at Kingsbury Hall. And, we had a band. The first Thriller, we had a band and
they're all dressed up.
And what do you call it?
Orchestra pit
there. And so they were the in-between stuff. So they would play like Halloween kind of songs and stuff like that. But it was a full band. And then we'd do our things on stage, and then the band would do. But I'll never forget the first time they did Frankenstein. The band was laughing their heads off. Right. They were just dying. They were all down there just Oh my gosh. It's the
Which made it
funniest thing we've ever
so
seen.
hard for us to
Yes.
like keep a straight face.
I know.
Because we could hear a lot.
Try to be dead and try to keep laughing, you know.
Oh, it was the
But
best.
I'll just never forget that first time. I said, "Oh my gosh, we've got a hit here. This is awesome," you know. Because
Still
you know,
going.
originally I wanted to do like a full-length Dracula. That's what I wanted to do
Yeah.
for Halloween. But we had no money. You know, we had nothing. You know.
Oh, I remember that too.
Yes, you remember that too. Like, I don't think we paid you the first couple of performances, did we at all?
I feel like we always eventually got paid.
Got
Like
something. Okay.
that sweet Bruce Huff saved the day.
Yes.
A lot
yes.
of times, but I know that there was, you know, times where I remember going to my mom and being like, we're on break. Like, you know, we just like we didn't know, and all of a sudden we're on break because there's not enough money, you know,
Yeah.
or we'll only get paid for shows or whatever.
That was a devastating moment in the company. We literally had to shut down because we just didn't have anything, you know. And
Yeah.
were you there when Bruce came into the to the dressing room? I think it was in Nephi or something like that.
I can picture it stuff.
Yeah. He came in and just said, we're going to have to shut down, you know, and everybody was bawling, and it was just like, and I was bawling, and, you know,
Because we liked
people
it.
came
We
up and
loved
they
what we're
says,
doing.
I don't care. I just want to dance. You know what I mean? And so, but we came back,
Yep.
you know, and then Thriller was the thing that really made it possible for us to continue on. It's still kind of our main staple as far as funding is concerned. You know, 80 to 90% of our budget comes from ticket sales.
Yeah.
People ask me, well, can you get donations? I said, I'd love donations, but at the same time, the best donation I could imagine is buying a ticket. You just buy a ticket, you know what I mean, and come to the shows. That makes it work. You know what I mean? But believe it or not, she and I danced together. Yes. In the very first, first couple of years, I was dancing in the company too. I'd be directing and dancing also. And, you know, we had this piece called Vision of Love. It was the Mariah Carey piece.
Mariah Carey.
We just had like a lot of Mariah Carey pieces that we put together. And she was such a, what did you say?
I said, I'm not a Mariah Carey fan.
Oh, you're not, you know. But this was kind of a cool piece. You know, we were kind of testing the waters too in terms of, okay, does this kind of performance have legs? You know, is this something that
It's
people
different.
like, you know? And so we did a Mariah Carey suite. I was lifting her over my head and throwing her all over the place.
It was always the one.
She was the one because she was so light.
Because I was only 100 pounds.
She was only 100 pounds. And I could chuck her all over the place.
You're lost, they're gained. Just
yes. But see, were you married at that time, or were you getting engaged at that time?
I had just got engaged.
You had just gotten engaged. So she didn't want to take her ring off.
No, I didn't think to.
Well, I know.
Yeah, it just didn't occur to me. It was a new thing.
So I was, we were doing a lift or something like that, and I threw her down. I flipped her down or something like that. Her ring caught me on my hand, and I have a permanent scar on my hand right there where her ring
I probably said sorry.
sliced my hand, so
He likes to remind me.
I know it's a permanent Amy scar.
I just wanted you to remember me.
Yeah. Well, it's memorable, that's for sure.
Well, it's actually like almost 30 years, like to the day since that happened. Because my 30th anniversary is coming up in May.
Sue, isn't that amazing?
So yeah, love happens.
So who are your best friends in the company?
You want me to name them?
Yeah, because we can get them on here eventually.
Yeah, no, we should. We could fill this couch. There's a lot of us. There's like a group of us that always get together. There's like 6 or 8 of us that always get together. But my closest friends are Missy and Tiffany. Yep. At the 3 of us, we're kind of bosom buddies.
Still is she somewhere else now?
She's here in Utah.
Is she in Utah?
Yeah.
I just haven't seen her. She hasn't come to our alumni events yet.
No, she feels like she wasn't on the company very long because she moved away like right away. So she really was only on the company like the first year.
But she's the one that peed in her pants.
Oh, are we going to talk about that?
Yeah. So So at the very beginning,
Do you want to tell the story?
well, sure. No,
Curious
this
here.
is a fun one. It's not you. You didn't pee. It was.
No, I was just helping.
We were doing. We did this. We were doing anything we could to raise money. So we had this little soiree that we
Little
put together, gala thing, and it was in somebody's home. And so we just kind of had like a little area where we were going to dance, and I had done Prayer of the Children for them. And so they were like in a bedroom changing, costumes and stuff like that. And they got to giggling and laughing so hard in there that
we won't talk about why.
Okay, we won't talk about why they were everything and laughing, but she peed in her costume, and so they had to get a hairdryer or something like that and try to dry it.
Well, she just did. We were in long dresses, and so Rick was actually the one that kind of was like, "Okay, you guys, calm down," and he like helped us like get everything figured out because we were just laughing, and so she ended up just not wearing tights, or we had little bloomer things underneath, and she was nothing. And so we had to do this like shoulder roll, like back shoulder roll, and she just did it and like smoothed out her dress so that like nothing showed.
But it was with people like 5 feet away from.
Oh yeah, they're like
they were just right there. It's like in a living room, is what it was.
And it was a serious dance.
And it was a serious dance.
So we shouldn't be laughing about it.
They were back in the back.
He is like, what is going on? Don't worry about it.
I didn't hear about it till afterwards, but yeah, we did lots of things to try to raise money back then, and just it was a tough go. It was a real tough go.
But those are the memories that you carry with you forever, and it's not always on stage. It's the behind the scenes thing that happened. Do you remember the time that I faked you out that I broke my hand?
No, I don't remember that.
So I have this like cyst right here. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's right.
And if I hit it, it hurts, but it puffs up really bad. And so I was dancing once and I accidentally hit it and it puffed up. And so I came off stage. I'm like, Derryl, I broke my hand. Oh my gosh, I broke my hand. You're like, okay, no, Sammy's part. And I'm like, I'm just kidding. And you were so mad at me, but
That's my peed.
But I feel like I cried wolf all the time because there was one time I did something and everybody was just stepping over me like, whatever, Amy. So you guys learned. But really, I just like to like, do you remember I was always burping?
Oh. She has.
Don't even request it because it's not happening anymore.
No. She had the biggest burp. I mean, every once in a while, she's just. It's just.
And it would just pause.
And I look over there at. How could somebody only 100 pounds make that much noise?
Oh my gosh.
And have that.
Carry that.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually won the burping contest. I represented my senior class at my high school. I won the burping contest.
Did you like a little medal? No,
I don't remember getting anything, but just the honor. But anyway, so that's a little tidbit about me that maybe nobody knew.
Well, those girls were crazy. I mean,
we were crazy.
We went on a couple of vans.
How did we always end up in your van?
I don't know.
I feel bad for you.
Yes, and they have discussions about stuff that I just don't want to.
That you probably shouldn't have been there.
I shouldn't have been there for.
Because we were all like newly either dating somebody, engaged, married. And so we would talk as girls talk. And I am so sorry.
Yes.
I am really sorry.
I'm like in the front dried up and I did not want to hear that. But I mean, those girls.
Fun.
Yeah, we go up to Idaho and we did a couple of performances up there and, just drive a van up there and go up and do a show.
And I know that in your last podcast, you talked about like little sparks that you see happening and really like that was happening even if we weren't dating somebody on the company. I'm going to share just a little story that you might not know because you mentioned Prayer of the Children.
Okay.
If anybody were to ask my husband, like, when did you know that you loved Amy and that you wanted to marry her? Far before I knew I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Marry him because I was so young. But it was watching me dance. He watched me dance Prayer of the Children when I was on stage. He came to a performance and it was during Prayer of the Children. He's like, I'm going to marry that woman.
Wow. That's
So,
awesome.
love stories.
Yay.
And then another thing that you kind of were a part of without knowing is that I didn't want to marry him because I was 19 years old. My parents had been divorced, and I was like, I'm not getting married till I'm 30. And so I'm like, so I'm going to move away from you, and I'm going to go to St. George and dance at the Tuacahn.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
you actually hired me to do that, even though I can't carry a note. You just didn't mic me, which was smart. But yeah, and he
But you had
came.
to sing at the audition.
I had to sing at the audition. I think it's like
Oh, she
happy
was-
birthday or something. And you're like, I promise she can dance.
Yeah, I kept saying, she's a really good dancer. She's a yeah, she's really.
I loved it so much, though. Segue for a minute, because I love singing, but I can't. I'm not good at it, and so I could sing and belt it out, and nobody could hear me. And so that was like the time of my life.
So when came time to give everybody microphones,
I didn't
this
get
guy
one.
took hers away.
None of us did. Me, Missy, Tiffany, my besties. We all danced together that summer.
Yeah.
Time of my life again. But
that's
Aaron
it.
came up every single weekend because he loved me, and I was like, no, like I really liked him, but I just wanted to have fun. And then somewhere along the way, things changed, and I changed my mind, and the rest is history.
When
But
did he pop the question?
not until like that following February that we
Okay.
got engaged.
How did
so.
he do it? How did he?
He actually took me up. Well, it was funny because during Tuacahn, I knew he wanted to marry me. And so he actually got on one knee then
Oh.
and gave me a watch, a tag watch, a dive watch, and said, will you go diving with me? And because he knew I wouldn't have said yes if he asked me at that point. And so I'm like, absolutely, I'll go diving with you. And
Oh
so
my God.
that's where we went on our honeymoon, was diving in the Cayman Islands. But
Oh my God.
he actually proposed to me that following February. Because I came around and I had faith in marriage again, and he was my person, and he actually proposed to me on Sundance Ski Resort. So he was friends with somebody who ran the cats, like grooming the trails at night.
Oh yeah.
And so they took us up, just us, the only ones on the mountain, took us up to the top, and he got down on one knee in front of Amy's Ridge and proposed to me, and then we got to ski down.
Oh
So
my gosh.
by moonlight.
Oh, that's great. That's like an Olympic.
I know, my
story.
kids were like, seriously, Mom, how do we top that?
Ah, that's
You'll
awesome.
have to. You'll have your own.
That's awesome. And how long have you been married now?
It'll be 30 years. Yeah.
30.
Yeah, it'll be 30 years in May.
Holy moly.
I know.
And how
I'm
many
old.
kids do you have?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Look at her. Look at her.
Oh, you guys are nice.
She has 4 kids.
Yeah, so my oldest is 26. He's married, and I love his wife so much. And then I have a 24-year-old Noah, and then my daughter Clara, who's 21, and then my daughter Irie, who's 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, best job I've ever had, being a mom.
Yes.
Second to dancing.
That's cool. What is it about being a mom that you like?
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of, you feel needed for one, and I don't know, all my kids are pretty cool, so we have a lot of fun together.
Are you the cool mom?
I don't know, ask them.
Do you try to be the cool mom?
I always thought I'm gonna be that super mom, the
super
one
mom.
that can do everything. But when it came down to it, I'm just blessed because my husband worked so that I could take care of
Take care
my
of me and be at
kids
home.
and be at home with them, and so that was a blessing. But I think we just gained a relationship. Like, I don't know, I like to listen to my kids, and I like to just accept them how they are and the ebbs and flows of life. And I know it's not easy, but I just want them to feel like they can come to me no matter what. So I feel like we have that.
They're all taller than you, right? Are they
Yeah, they're all taller than me.
taller than
My girls are both 5'6" and 5'9",
you?
so they definitely don't have my
And
shortness,
you
which
are
is good. 5'2".
5'2".
Mm-hmm.
So
And as we know, 100 pounds. No, I'm a little bit more than that now. But nobody gets to tell me to lose weight.
yes, that's true. That's true. So when you started, how long did you dance with Odyssey? We'll always say Odyssey, but it was Utah Contemporary Dance Theatre during your tenure.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So I danced until I was pregnant with Bodhi, my oldest. Yeah, and so I started in '94, and then I danced the last thriller was in 98. So 4 years.
4 years. Wow.
It's like I didn't even think about that I could go back after having kids. Like, I don't know. It didn't occur to me, but I absolutely think people should.
Because we've had several come.
Yeah, I think that's
after
great.
they've had at least.
I think it just wasn't really a thing then, but yeah, I was happy just teaching. I taught a
Did you
ton.
dance while you were pregnant?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My last thriller, I was 3
Is
months
that when I
pregnant.
held you up and you hurt my arm?
No, I was engaged then. I better not have been pregnant. That was a few years later.
Okay.
I remember seeing I could hide my teeny little belly pretty well in most costumes, but White Witch for some reason, like that one, I was just like trying to suck in the belly that it doesn't suck in. And I'm like, and then I do remember somebody accidentally dropped me on my head once when we were rehearsing when I was pregnant. They didn't really know I was pregnant, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit too. So I'm like, maybe I oughta, call it quits. Yeah. So that was hard. But I got engaged, got married, and started having kids all during my years of Odyssey.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, pretty amazing.
What was your least favorite thing about being in Odyssey?
Oh my gosh.
The fact that we had no money. I know that's one of them.
No, I don't. I think that we go through things like that to appreciate when things are good, So I don't have any regrets there. I don't know. I honestly can't think of what my least if it pops up, I'll mention it. But
I remember your magic trick.
oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
So we're in some hotel in
I should do it for
Idaho.
the camera.
Oh yeah, you should do that. She has a magic trick where she's, standing at the end of the bed and she pulls up a blanket and she goes, "Phew," and she disappears.
As if nobody's ever seen that before. They all acted like they had never seen it before. I'm sure it's all over
But it was
YouTube
pretty
now.
magical at the time because we hadn't seen it yet before.
My disappearing house.
This
Or I
is
would just run into somebody's hotel room and then jump onto the end of their bed in the splits and then leave.
Yeah, I think we got in trouble with the hotel staff a few times. at
Oh
these
my gosh,
hotels.
that was hilarious. You were with us one night. I don't know if this is going to have to be cut, but you were with us one night and it was just all these girls and maybe Rick, I don't know, and Derryl. But Derryl was kind of hidden behind the wall and we were just laughing and having so much fun and being way too loud at whatever time at night.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to name the name, but one of the other people in charge came in and scolded us and you guys need to be quiet. And we're like, okay. And Daryl's like, and we just thought that was so
I'm hiding in the corner. I'm sorry.
You didn't say a word. You never said a word. And this person will never know you were in there with us.
Who was the person?
You want to know?
Yeah.
It was Tamra.
Oh, really? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. She was kind of like the associate director at the time.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You guys, I need my sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah.
When we started out, we had no
We're
idea.
touring was to Idaho.
Yeah. Tour to Idaho.
And they get to go to Europe. I should go.
know.
They need a yoga teacher
Yes,
on board.
they do.
Right?
Yeah. Speaking of yoga,
Yoga.
how did you get into yoga?
There's another kind of long story and I'll try to make it short. But as you get older, it's not as acceptable, I guess, to walk into a ballet class to stay in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's maybe harder on your body. And so
It's hard to find those kind of classes.
I feel like in New York and stuff like that,
yeah, they're not here.
not here so much. And so I got into yoga. I enjoyed it a lot. And then when I moved to Hawaii, I actually did yoga a ton. And it was just another way of using my body and my flexibility and stuff like that and feeling really good. And that's what I thought it was for me then. And then I ended up having all this hip pain. And I ended up getting an MRI and finding out I have torn labrums on both hips. So if you see any old pictures of me, we could show one. You could see that my flexibility was kind of insane.
Yes.
And that was kind of we all have our thing. That was kind of my thing. And so I definitely paid the price for that and tore my labrums from that. And so I actually had to quit yoga, which was fine. And then I ended up having surgery, and then yoga became something different for me after that. Yoga became my therapy. Yoga became like, I don't have to be the most flexible person in the room. I just want to be able to do this forever. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to feel strong. And so I started, people started asking me to teach yoga for their dancers, like in dance studios and stuff like that. I was never certified. I'd just done it so much and taught myself.
Right.
And so when I moved back to Utah, I'm like, I better get legit. And so I went and got my certification, even though I had been teaching for years, and learned that yoga was even more than I had imagined. Like, it's a very spiritual thing too, and so it's all about the mind and the body, and I loved learning about that. And I threw it out because I teach Odyssey now. I threw it out because I was teaching their ballet, and I'm like, hey, if you guys ever want me to teach you yoga, and they're like, I couldn't even finish the sentence. They're like, yes, please. And so I taught them some random Wednesday yoga class, and they're like, we're gonna talk to Derryl. We want this every single week. And I'm like, you guys need it. Like, this could be so good for you. And so now we do it every single Wednesday. It's kind of that like reset in the middle of the week. What do you guys need? What are you guys feeling?
Right.
And then I always have some sort of intention or something to think about, because I mean, nobody ever told me like those kind of things. Like, nobody even told me to breathe.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm like doing ballet and I'm thinking I have to hold my breath all the time.
Yes.
And so I'm teaching the dancers, you can breathe while you're moving.
Yeah.
And we're doing these flows and we're learning to breathe. And then you take that on stage. Like, you need to be breathing and you need to be like being in the moment, and all of those things that we don't necessarily like. We're so like go, go, go with dance on our bodies and on our minds that I think we needed that. Like, everybody, especially professional dancers.
It was very serendipitous that I had you come in just to teach ballet because I knew you were a ballet gal, and then you did the yoga class that one day, and then they said, "Can we have that every week?"
Yeah.
And I thought that actually makes a lot of sense. So we do 2 ballet, 2 jazz, and 1 yoga class every week.
So perfect. Yeah.
And
so perfect.
and the yoga's right in the middle of the week when they really kind of like need to kind of like refocus.
Yeah.
Because, they're silly just like you guys were,
Yes, and I
They're
love
like
it.
kittens all the time,
They're so great. They're
And
so great.
I'm always yelling at them to shut up, and I always go, shut the front door,
Yeah, it's funny to come in at the beginning when you first came back out of like retirement. When you first came back, it was fun to be there for that, and it was quiet. I walk in to teach ballet, and everybody's so serious, and then like, I don't know, like fast forward a month later, maybe, and it's just like, I'm like, hey, you guys ready to start? I'm like, I love this though. Like, I love it.
So when you got your operations, did you get replacements?
So I only did the right side, and they repaired it the first time, and then it retore. And we don't really know why. And so I actually went to a special doctor that deals with this. So this is an injury that happens a lot in hockey players and ballerinas. Go figure.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I found somebody who's done a lot of hockey players and ballet dancers, and he actually built me a new labrum.
Really?
With a cadaver. Yeah, so I have a new labrum now. And so this side's a lot tighter, but I chose not to do my left side just because it wasn't as bad. And so I just keep doing my yoga. When I teach ballet, it actually aggravates a little bit more, just trying to turn out and, hold developes and stuff like that. So
do you know whose cadaver you have in there?
no idea.
I'm just like,
I'd like to think it's not Bob's.
This is Bob's labrum over here, That's
So I'm pretty
amazing.
sure
Yeah.
it's female, Derryl.
Was it? Okay. Billy. It was Billy.
My voice did start getting deeper after that.
Oh,
Yeah, no, but it's amazing what they can do now and keep
Well,
you
it's
going.
awesome that you got it. How long did it take you to get certified?
Just like 6 months, I think.
Really?
Yeah, not long. And you can keep going.
Did they appreciate the fact that you already kind of knew what you were doing as far as yoga is concerned?
Yeah, but I feel like there was so much more to learn because the yoga is not just about the poses. I think a lot of, especially in Western culture, we look at it like another way of exercise,
Right.
but there's so much more to it. Like I said, like the spiritual aspect of it and the mental side of it too. There was so much for me to learn, and I can keep learning. And that's what I love too, is like I can do that into my 90s, you know, and just
Yeah.
keep doing yoga. And I love sharing that with the dancers because I'm like, hey, take it from me, you guys. Like, don't push it, because when we were first doing yoga class, there was a ballet dancer in our company who I love to death, but he was like, I'm not sure I like this, you know? And then we talked about it, and it was because he was really dumping into things, and you were so used to like, we got to be the most flexible, we got to really, and so I have to remind them. And that was good for me to realize, like, I have to remind them, like, you still need to engage your muscles and pull out of things. We're not trying to just let everything go.
Yeah.
That's what's going to
It's not just a
injure
stretch
you.
class.
Right.
Yeah.
This is about, I always say to them, like, you guys, it's quality over quantity. We're going for longevity. I want you guys to be able to dance as long as you can.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed a significant improvement in their overall health.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. In terms of just not getting injured as often.
Nice.
We always have something happen, you know, during a season.
Always.
You
Yeah.
know, and it's kind of crazy. But to have that background, I think is very, very important for the dancers to have that. It's just another technique and thing that helps them, you know, get through a day of dancing. When you're, you know, dancing from 8 to 3 every day, that's wear and tear on your body.
Yeah.
You know.
I definitely think they need me in Europe. You're right.
Yes.
I've never been to Germany.
You've never been. Wait a minute. You just got back from Scotland.
Oh, but I haven't been to Germany.
Yeah.
So I touched on my parents getting divorced, right? But nobody really, like, I was a pretty happy, silly person. And so people didn't really know what I was going through. But my parents getting divorced was really hard.
Right.
And I was very angry with my father. And I was the understudy for Rain.
Oh.
Do you remember Rain?
Yeah.
With Jenna Lynn?
Yes.
And so it was another like suite, but it actually rained on the stage for the rain dance. It was not the rain dance, but it rained, right?
Yes.
And so I ended up being put in it. And I remember her just like talking to us about like the meaning, like you need to find what it is that like brings out that emotion, you know, especially for me because I was more of a ballerina. So it was a little harder for me just to kind of let go. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm really angry with my dad right now.
Okay.
I'm like, that's kind of gonna bring out some emotion in me. And so like I rehearsed it, and it went well. But then when I performed it, I remember beforehand writing a letter to my dad and just being like, I forgive you. I never gave it to him, but I needed to forgive him, right? And so I decided to just take that onto the stage that night. And I danced my heart out and I cried. And I felt so just like a different person after that. Like I had forgiven him. No words were shared between the two of us because, you know, he was living however he was living. And there, you know, I had to just for myself forgive him. And so that's what dance does for us. Like we can have that emotion and we can show it and we can let it all out on the stage.
Yeah.
And feel so much better. Right. And that was a pivotal moment for me. And I remember, because there was like 3 dances in the whole thing, 3 different songs. And I wasn't typically in the last one, but all the other dancers were like, you need to come back on stage. And so I got to just let it out. And it
With
felt
the rain
so
pouring
good.
down.
Yeah.
We actually had a rain on stage.
It was
No, it
amazing.
was
No, it wasn't Tuacahn. It was just
at Kingsbury.
everywhere we
and
yeah.
we did it at the World Jazz Congress and stuff like that. But you know, we actually made it rain on stage, and
It
they
was
danced in the water
and you're sliding all over the place, but it's kind of it worked with the choreography. Like it was amazing. So
I often, well, I know that there's so many moments that happen for dancers in the studio that are so precious. You know what I mean? They
a personal.
It's cathartic. You know, it's very cathartic. You know, I always tell the dancers before a season starts, I say, you have to remember this studio is your sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
This is the place where you come and you leave all that other stuff that's really bothering you. Leave that there and come here and do what you love to do. And that's why they're so amazing. These dancers that we have, that just
It's our therapy.
yeah,
We don't have to pay
it's
someone.
therapy. And that's I have never heard that story before.
No, it's a very personal story that I don't know that I've shared before, but when I was thinking about coming on here, I'm like, maybe I could share
Did you
that.
ever speak to your dad after that?
Oh, we have a great relationship now. He was just in a bad place. He had kind of done some things and kind of left my mom and us 7 kids.
Wow.
And so I left everything I knew growing up in California to move to Utah, not knowing anybody.
Yeah.
And so that was hard. And my mom moved me my senior year of high school.
Oh,
So it was just a lot of
yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah. And then finding Odyssey and getting those friends and being able to forgive my dad on stage, those were all just like pivotal moments that like are seared in my brain. I'll never forget because it helped me heal.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. You said you had a funny one.
I don't know if I can remember any of the funny ones, but I know that these guys do the same thing. Like sometimes shows get a little mundane when you do them over and over again, and you have like those little things that you do behind stage, like passing things and stuff like that. And we used to do stuff like that all the time just to be silly or switching costumes and stuff like that. But I can just tell you that the dreams, like that you don't know the choreography or that you go on stage naked.
Right.
Or that Derryl tells you to do part you've never done before, like they still happen, you guys. I'm over 50 and I'm still having those dreams. Come on.
Gosh.
Like this, I just think once it's in you, it's always in you.
Yes, I have director dreams now.
I'm sure.
They're nightmares. It's like I don't know where the costume was. I don't know where, it's just like I'm supposed to know something and I didn't, and I didn't do it right or whatever. I just have those nightmares that happen more or less. But every once in a while, I still have that fear of like, oh, that's the music, and I don't have my costume on yet, and I got to get out there. But wait a minute, what's the choreography? I don't know the choreography.
The funniest thing is that I have dreams that you're like, Amy, we actually need you on the company again. So I guess there's that person inside of me that's just like, I want to still dance.
Yes.
Amy, we need you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would break myself.
Oh, she was a lovely, lovely dancer. She was so young, and so fun to have around in the company, being those years, and we did a lot of stuff together. But it was tough at the very beginning because we were just kind of like, well, let's do a show. Let's get together and do a show, and maybe we'll make some money out of it. Maybe we won't.
I think that's what made us so much closer, though, is the toughness of it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's like 6 or 8 of us dancers. Like those are the ones that we still get together all the time. Like I have been, now that it's been over 30 years, I have been with these girls through divorces, through cancer, through death.
Yeah.
A lot of things, and we're there for each other.
Yeah.
So this wasn't supposed to be the cry episode. My goodness.
Well, it's so important though that to know what the internal things are going on in a dancer's life do play out on a stage.
Oh, absolutely.
And you spend all those hours in a studio learning choreography together and just having fun together. And I have to say, shut the front door, or be quiet, so we can continue doing the work. But, they're getting so much more out of it than just doing a performance.
Absolutely. Friendships that will last forever. And I got to do ballroom, and I got to do jazz and hip hop and all these things that I loved so much.
Yeah.
Like Rick actually picked me for his ballroom piece. I don't know if you remember that, but you laugh and you just remember me as a ballerina, but I was more versatile than you remember.
Yes.
So anyway, it was a good time.
That was the beginnings of like, okay, can we do all these styles? Can we
Oh,
put all
absolutely.
those together in one?
And people loved
performance?
it. Yeah.
And that's the thing that makes the company so unique. Anyway, we've had some amazing times, and I think it's to me, it's so wonderful to see you girls get back together again, you
Yeah.
know, and just the friendship and camaraderie
Oh,
that you had.
always. I was messaging my friends on my way here, but I want to say that you have a lot to do with that because I've had a lot of teachers, directors, in my life that I was afraid of, that I didn't have any sort of relationship with at all, or that I didn't even really feel like they believed in me. And that's where you are different. And so I just have to throw that in there. So
Well,
thank you for being that person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Well, I think, we've both gotten teary-eyed here at this moment. And,
Who would have?
I mean, it's fun for me to relive some of these experiences and things that we went through
Same.
that are special in my heart too,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the fire that kept me going when it was hard.
Yeah.
It was really, really hard to keep it
Because you
going.
saw all our faces and we're like,
Yes.
please make this work.
Please, I want to dance,
Mhm.
And the whole idea was to create something where you didn't have to go to New York or LA,
Mhm.
and dance professionally.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to go on tour here in a couple of weeks, and we're very excited about that,
Yeah.
So with that, I will say, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
And cut.